Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Is Sienna going to ruin the shit reunion? Prior to Noah Newman's vehicle accident, Nick Newman and Sharon Newman were on the verge of a romantic reunion. Will the bar owner interfere with Shick's reunion given the amount of mystery surrounding Noah's accident and the involvement of Sienna Bacall? The first time Sienna Bacall met Nick Newman. Fans of The Young and the Restless are reminded by spoilers that Nick's decision to answer Sienna's call on Noah's phone during this coming week. Nick will investigate the cause of his son's accident, and additional teasers suggest that he will see Sienna in person. Will Sienna and Nick become romantically involved? Given Nick's misgivings about Sienna and the way she quickly hung up on him, there will probably be friction and confrontation between the two. Conflict between two characters at the beginning, however, is frequently a strong indication that they will eventually fall in love, at least in bed. How about Sharon Newman? Will Nick be the only one enjoying a new relationship with so many new characters joining the canvas and the upcoming appearance of soap veteran Roger Howarth? If someone develops feelings for Sharon, there's always a potential that Sienna won't be the only obstacle in the Shick reunion. Would Sharon and Detective Burrows, who doesn't appear to be a detective, get along? However, there might be a spark between her and Howarth's persona. The role that Howarth will play has not yet been announced by YNR. Though nothing formal has been announced, there has been considerable speculation that he is the recast of Tucker McCall, who was last portrayed by Trevor St. John. Having said that, Tucker and Sharon did have a brief affair. May they revive some of that chemistry when he returns? Phyllis's dangerous conduct, Tessa's crazy evening. While Tessa Porter has a wild night driven by alcohol, Michelle Stafford's character Phyllis Summers will participate in some dangerous behavior. Fans of YNR are aware that Mariah Copeland appears to be more withdrawn and unhappy than ever. Tessa will want to drink away the issues on Tuesday's show because her visit to Mariah's facility in Boston didn't go well at all. Daniel Romalotti Jr. will realize that Tessa needs assistance after she attempts to use alcohol to dull her agony. Daniel will decide that Tessa would be better off sleeping in a suite upstairs at the sports club because she will hardly be able to stand. Tessa will find another method to divert her attention from all of her Mariah's sadness while she's climbing. Tessa leans forward and gives Daniel a passionate kiss, which will come as a huge surprise. Daniel clearly won't believe it's a good idea for passion to explode like this, even though he has fallen deeply for Tessa. Daniel will undoubtedly push Tessa away for the time being because she will be intoxicated and emotionally upset over Mariah. He'll approach Devin Winters alongside Kane Ashby and hope they can resolve their differences. By settling with Devin, Kane would hope to start the process of settling with Lily and the twins as well. But since Devin is unlikely to simply forgive and go on, Kane's plan will fail. Kane might be even less motivated to mend his family and restore his reputation after Devin's remark. Regarding Phyllis, she will act in a very dangerous manner. We'll discover if Phyllis's huge, audacious move is part of a plan to win Kane over or if it's a way to combine business and pleasure. The Restless and the Young. According to spoilers, Phyllis is about to meet someone unexpected, therefore it's probable that she'll kiss Kane and upset their arrangement. 3 reasons why characters turn into enemies, the beginning of Sharon and Sienna's rivalry. The rivalry between Sienna Bacall and Sharon Newman appears set to begin shortly. These characters will unavoidably turn against one another for the following 3 reasons. 1. Sienna is concealing information about Noah. First of all, there will undoubtedly be friction because Sienna is concealing information that has an impact on Sharon's unconscious son. Sienna mentioned meeting Noah Newman just before the crash, and his phone is programmed with her name. Although Sienna named Noah a buddy, she didn't speak with Nick Newman long enough to inquire about Noah's health. Sienna apparently couldn't hang up quickly enough, even if she hoped Noah was alright. Sharon will undoubtedly confront Sienna at some point, but Nick will meet with her shortly and press her for additional information. If needed, Sharon might threaten Sienna and subject her to her own questioning session. Sienna is obviously upset over Noah's accident, but she is aware of, or at least suspects, more than she is admitting. Given the likelihood that Mitch, Sienna's long-term partner, is involved in all of this, she is likely harboring secrets that a furious Sharon will want to uncover. 2. A romantic triangle including Sharon, Nick, and Sienna may be developing. In the future, Nick can become another point of dispute between Sienna and Sharon. It's obvious that Sienna is not at fault for what occurred to Noah, even though she isn't giving the complete story. Nick might have a different opinion of Sienna if the truth is out and believe that she was simply in a difficult circumstance. Nick might see Sienna as someone who needs to be saved from a man like Mitch since he enjoys saving women. As this plot progresses, Nick might find himself pulled to Sienna despite his reconciliation with Sharon. If so, Y&R might be providing the ingredients for a romantic triangle that would further exacerbate the tension between Sienna and Sharon. 3. Sienna and Sharon are completely different. Lastly, any animosity that may be developing between Sienna and Sharon may also be caused by their divergent personalities. The fact that Sharon is not at all like edgy Sienna could lead to some trouble between them. According to spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Sienna and Sharon's rivalry may result in some unexpected revelations, contentious exchanges, and much more. Tune in to see what these two will be up to. The streets of Genoa City have rarely been as tense as they are right now. The air is thick with anticipation, rumors, and the kind of drama that can only happen when multiple lives intersect in ways no one could have foreseen. At the center of it all is the Newman family, who are navigating the treacherous waters of love, loyalty, and devastating secrets. Prior to Noah Newman's shocking vehicle accident, fans were on the edge of their seats, watching as Nick Newman and Sharon Newman were poised for a romantic reunion. Everything seemed aligned for the long-awaited Shick moment, the emotional culmination of years of complicated history, heartbreak, and rekindled feelings. Yet, as spoilers reveal, the bar owner Sienna Bacall is about to make her entrance into this delicate scenario, and with the air of mystery surrounding her involvement in Noah's accident, questions loom large. Will she derail the Shick reunion entirely, or will her presence merely add another layer of tension and intrigue to an already volatile canvas? Sienna Bacall's first meeting with Nick Newman sets the stage for an intense sequence of events. It is a moment charged with curiosity, suspicion, and a sense that her arrival was fated to shake up the Newman family dynamics. Spoilers remind fans that the initial spark of this meeting revolves around Noah's phone. Nick's decision to answer Sienna's call on it marks the beginning of a connection that is fraught with ambiguity. This is a woman who may know more about Noah's accident than she's letting on, and the question of her motives hovers like a dark cloud. The coming week promises that Nick will investigate the circumstances surrounding his son's accident, and in the process, he will confront Sienna face to face. The tension will be palpable, as Nick is not easily convinced by half-truths, and Sienna's quick hang-up on their initial conversation will likely fuel the friction between them. In classic soap opera fashion, this conflict at the beginning may well be a precursor to a deeper, more complicated relationship, one that may veer into romantic territory despite their mutual skepticism. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman is left navigating the emotional fallout of her son's accident while balancing her own feelings for Nick. Fans of the show know that even as Shick teeters on the edge of reunion, the introduction of new characters and the arrival of soap veteran Roger Howarth add another layer of intrigue. The exact role Howarth will play is yet to be revealed, though speculation points to a possible recast of Tucker Bacall, a character with past romantic connections to Sharon. This potential reintroduction of Tucker could further complicate the landscape, threatening to distract Sharon or even provide a foil to Sienna's influence over Nick. Will Sharon's attention remain on rebuilding her connection with Nick, or will she be drawn into unexpected sparks with Howarth's character? The answer could influence whether Sienna is truly the obstacle to Shick, or if the real tension lies elsewhere in Genoa City's complex romantic entanglements. Adding further layers to the drama, spoilers suggest that other characters are experiencing intense personal crises that intersect with the central Newman storyline. Tessa Porter's wild night fueled by alcohol demonstrates the emotional volatility on the canvas. Her visit to Mariah Copeland's facility in Boston leaves her distressed and seeking escape through drinking. Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s reaction, offering her shelter and attempting to maintain a sense of control over the situation, underscores the ripple effects of personal crises in the lives of Genoa City residents. Tessa's impulsive passionate kiss with Daniel, a moment of intense emotion and vulnerability, highlights how the character's private struggles can spill into public confrontations, complicating relationships and adding tension to ongoing storylines. Within this framework, Kane Ashby's attempts to reconcile with Devon Winters and rebuild his family are met with resistance, revealing the challenges of forgiveness and restoration. Kane's plan is further complicated by his interactions with Lily and the twins, showing how personal and familial conflicts intersect with romantic storylines. Phyllis Summer's dangerous maneuvers, whether motivated by love, ambition, or both, create additional layers of risk and uncertainty. Her audacious moves, including a potential kiss with Kane, could disrupt relationships and alliances, highlighting the precariousness of stability in Genoa City. All of these subplots set the stage for a high-stakes environment where Sienna Bacall's actions could have a profound impact. Turning specifically to Sienna and Sharon, three critical factors suggest why their rivalry may intensify and become a major obstacle to the Shick reunion. First, Sienna's concealment of information regarding Noah creates immediate tension. She claims to have met Noah just before his accident, and while his phone lists her as a friend, she has withheld crucial details that could illuminate the circumstances surrounding the crash. Sharon, a fiercely protective mother, will naturally confront Sienna, demanding answers. Nick will likely investigate as well, placing Sienna in a high-pressure situation that exposes her secrets and tests her composure. The presence of Mitch, Sienna's long-term partner, introduces further intrigue, as his involvement in the unfolding events may be deeper than initially understood. Fans can anticipate confrontations that reveal not only Sienna's secrets but also the dynamics between her and the Newman family, increasing the potential for disruption. Second, the potential for a romantic triangle between Sharon, Nick, and Sienna cannot be ignored. As Nick grapples with his feelings for Sharon while navigating the mystery surrounding Sienna, the story is ripe for emotional conflict. Even if Sienna bears no direct responsibility for Noah's accident, her proximity to Nick and the suspense surrounding her motives can create friction. Nick's inherent desire to protect and save women in vulnerable situations could draw him closer to Sienna despite his loyalty to Sharon. This classic soap triangle has the potential to ignite both jealousy and passion, increasing the likelihood that the Shick reunion will face delays, obstacles, or unexpected complications. The emotional stakes are high, as fans anticipate the delicate balancing act Nick must perform between duty, romance, and curiosity. Third, Sienna and Sharon's fundamentally different personalities set the stage for inevitable conflict. Sharon, often empathetic, cautious, and grounded, contrasts sharply with Sienna's edgy, mysterious demeanor. The friction between their approaches to conflict and relationship dynamics is almost guaranteed to generate sparks. Sharon's instinctive mistrust of Sienna may clash with Nick's potential fascination, creating tension that manifests in heated exchanges, social confrontations, and moments of dramatic miscommunication. These personality differences ensure that Sienna will not merely be a passive presence, she will actively challenge both Sharon and Nick, compelling them to confront unresolved feelings and navigate the treacherous waters of suspicion, jealousy, and desire. As these dynamics unfold, the broader context of Genoa City's social and familial networks plays a crucial role. Phyllis's scheming, Tessa's emotional instability, and Kane's family struggles intersect with the central Shick storyline, creating opportunities for crossovers and escalations. Sienna's involvement in this intricate web positions her as both an instigator and a potential disruptor. Whether she intentionally seeks to derail the reunion or her actions inadvertently create tension, her presence forces the Newmans to navigate moral, emotional, and relational complexities in real time. The storyline's layering of personal crises, hidden motives, and romantic entanglements ensures that no reunion occurs in a vacuum. Every interaction carries weight and consequence, heightening the drama and stakes for fans. Additionally, the mystery surrounding Noah's accident remains a driving force behind the narrative. Nick's investigation is not merely procedural, it is deeply personal, blending paternal concern with romantic and familial loyalty. Sienna's enigmatic role in these events adds suspense, as viewers must weigh her motives, reliability, and potential for deception. The suspense is compounded by the suggestion that she may know more than she admits, creating a palpable tension that keeps viewers engaged. Every interaction between Sienna, Nick, and Sharon is charged with potential revelation, threat, or romantic spark, and the careful orchestration of these moments ensures that the storyline remains compelling and unpredictable. As the rivalry intensifies, fans can expect a series of escalating confrontations. Sharon's protectiveness over Noah will drive her to demand transparency from Sienna, while Nick's curiosity and possible empathy may blur lines of loyalty. Sienna's secrets, Mitch's involvement, and the unresolved romantic tension between Sharon and Nick collectively create a perfect storm. The narrative's complexity reflects classic soap opera storytelling, combining suspense, romance, and interpersonal drama to create a multifaceted and emotionally charged storyline. Moreover, the rivalry between Sienna and Sharon is likely to produce unexpected revelations. As secrets are unearthed and emotions flare, the potential for contentious exchanges, dramatic confrontations, and explosive emotional moments is high. This rivalry is not simply about romantic interference, it encompasses issues of trust, loyalty, and moral responsibility, creating an intricate tapestry of conflict that resonates with viewers. The narrative suggests that neither Sienna nor Sharon will emerge unscathed, and that the Shick reunion may be delayed, disrupted, or transformed by the intensity of these interactions. In summary, Sienna Bacall's introduction to Genoa City brings a whirlwind of intrigue, romance, and conflict that threatens to complicate the long-awaited reunion of Nick and Sharon Newman. With her concealed knowledge about Noah's accident, potential romantic tension with Nick, and personality differences with Sharon, Sienna is positioned as both a catalyst and an obstacle. The layered storytelling, enriched by interconnected subplots involving Tessa, Daniel, Kane, Phyllis, and potential new characters like Roger Howarth's role, ensures that the Shick reunion will not occur without significant emotional and narrative tension. Fans are invited to witness a storyline rich with suspense, secrets, and evolving relationships, where Sienna's role may prove pivotal in shaping the trajectory of one of the soap's most iconic couples. Ultimately, the upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless promise to deliver a potent combination of drama, suspense, and romantic intrigue. Whether Sienna will truly ruin the reunion or merely challenge it through layered narrative developments remains to be seen. What is certain is that the interplay between secrets, romantic tension, and personal rivalry will drive the story forward, keeping fans riveted and invested in the evolving dynamics of Genoa City's most compelling characters. Viewers can anticipate heated confrontations, complex emotional entanglements, and the kind of dramatic storytelling that defines the legacy of the series, making Sienna's arrival a critical turning point in the Newman family saga. The question remains, will the Shick reunion survive Sienna's arrival, or will her mysterious motives, romantic allure, and concealed secrets ultimately reshape the trajectory of the Newmans' love story? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the tension, conflict, and passion are far from over. Genoa City is watching, and the fallout from Sienna's entrance promises to be explosive. The tension in Genoa City had reached a fever pitch. Nick Newman's mind was a storm of conflicting emotions. On one hand, he was determined to support his son Noah, investigating every detail surrounding the accident that had left him hospitalized and vulnerable. On the other, he was emotionally tangled in the web of romance and rivalry that seemed to envelope his life. Sienna Bacall's recent entrance into the city had added layers of uncertainty, suspicion, and intrigue that neither Nick nor Sharon could ignore. The Shick reunion, long anticipated by fans, was now teetering on the edge, its stability threatened by a mysterious woman who seemed to know more than she was willing to reveal. Nick's first in-person encounter with Sienna was brief but charged with tension. The bar owner greeted him with measured politeness, yet there was an undeniable edge in her demeanor. The air between them crackled with unspoken questions. Why was she on Noah's phone at the time of the accident? What did she know, and why wasn't she forthcoming? Her evasive answers and abrupt hang-ups had already set off alarm bells in Nick's mind. As he stepped into the dimly lit bar, he caught a glimpse of her calculating gaze, sizing him up even as she tried to project calm. "Nick," Sienna said smoothly, her tone carrying just enough warmth to be disarming. "I'm glad we finally meet." "Yeah," Nick replied cautiously, studying her carefully. "But I have a lot of questions. Questions about Noah, the call on his phone, and what you were doing before the accident." Sienna shifted slightly, her posture controlled but her eyes flicking with a subtle tension. Nick, I wish I could tell you everything right now. I truly do. But there are things I can't reveal, not yet. My involvement isn't as direct as you think. Nick's jaw tightened. Not as direct? That doesn't exactly inspire confidence, Sienna. I'm not asking for a story, I'm asking for the truth about my son. The underlying threat in his voice was unmistakable. Even though he tried to remain calm, his paternal instincts and personal integrity combined into a force that left little room for negotiation. Sienna held her ground, her own sense of purpose visible in the subtle set of her shoulders. The first meeting ended without resolution, leaving Nick with more questions than answers and a growing suspicion that Sienna was hiding something significant. Meanwhile, Sharon Newman was bracing herself for her own confrontation with Sienna. Word had spread through the grapevine of Genoa City that Sienna had been seen around Noah's accident and had lingering ties to unknown elements surrounding the incident. Sharon's protective instincts as a mother and her renewed romantic interest in Nick placed her squarely at the intersection of suspicion and emotional vulnerability. She knew that Sienna's presence could complicate everything, but Sharon's fiery nature was not one to back down. When the two women finally met, the chemistry, or perhaps anti-chemistry, was palpable. Sharon's straightforward, empathetic personality contrasted sharply with Sienna's enigmatic, edgy demeanor. Sparks flew almost immediately.